It's a pleasure to welcome all of you to another enriching session of the International Krishi Manthan 2026 30 days summer nurturing training program organized by EcoFast Agri Solution. I'm Vaibhavi and I'm delighted to be a host for today's session. We are pleased to have with us Dr. Shyam Kumar Sir, Assistant Professor and Head Department of Aquaculture, Prime Minister College of Excellence, College of Agriculture, Government PG-led College, Sior, Madhya Pradesh. Over the year, Sir has contributed significantly to the field of aquaculture, fisheries extension, and farmer-oriented development programs. Sir has served as a subject matter specialist, animal science, fisheries at Krishi Vigyan Kendra Sihor, Bihar, and as an domain expert fisheries with the Government of Bihar. On behalf of EcoFast Agri Solution and all the participants present here, I extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to Dr. Shyam Kumar Sir. Thank you, sir, for joining us today and sharing your valuable time and expertise with us. Before we begin, I kindly request all the participants to remain on mute throughout the session and keep their questions ready for the interactive discussion at the end. Now, without further delay, I respectfully invite Dr. Shyam Kumar, sir, to take over the session. Sir, the virtual platform is yours.
Thank you, Avi. Good evening to all of you. Uh, now I'm going to present my today's topic, that is on the climate change and its effect on the fisheries and aquaculture. So, Vaibhavi, kindly this presentation on. Thank you so much, Vaibhavi. So, as we all know that in the today's area, the climate change have a very negative impact on the agriculture, aquaculture, fisheries, and each and every aspect of our life. No matter whether you are from fisheries or agriculture or some other background, climate change is going to impact negatively on all of us because we are living in the same nature. So we have to look after the climate change. Next slide, please. Next slide. So first of all, we must know what is climate change. As we all know that change is the law of nature. Change from the starting of this earth, there was a change on the earth. So why we are so much worried about today the climate change? Because if you will look in the past 100 years, from the starting of industrial era, the climate change had made a very significant increase changes in the past 100 years. So basically, what we are going to address in this presentation is the climate change that is a very long-term, significant, and shift in the global and regional weather patterns. Because of this global warming, the average temperature on the Earth has significantly increased, and it has extended over a period of time, spanning more than decades or longer even. So because of this climate change, Earth climate has changed naturally throughout its history, but due to this man-made, or you can say anthropogenic factor, modern climate change is primarily driven by the human activities. In the past 100 years or 200 years, we have seen that due to the industrial revolution, the burning of fossil fuel, coal, petrol, diesel, and other gases, and due to the large amount of deforestation and industrial growth, it has led to the release of massive amount of greenhouse gases, particularly the carbon dioxide, methane into the atmosphere. So if you will see on the data, in the last 100 years, the amount of CO2 has increased by around 40%. So uh, this the change in this concentration of CO2 in the last 100 years is nearly equal to the past thousand of years. So what we have done in the past 1,000 years, the same has been increased in the last 100 years. So why we are much more worried about the increase in these greenhouse gases? Because when the level of greenhouse gases increase, the temperature of Earth increases. Because these greenhouse gases used to trap the energy of sunlight, and this radiation that comes to Earth does not go back, and the heat of this sun rays get trapped on this earth. So this greenhouse gases had causes the most you can say negative impact on our climate change. These greenhouse gases are the mainly responsible for this climate change on the earth. Next slide, please. So uh, the previous one, yes, this one. So we must understand what is the climate change, what is this cause of climate change, what it is effect on our planet, how it is having the global impact, and what we can do to solve this climate change. At least not solve, at least we can adapt or mitigate, because solving this climate change is very difficult in this short span of time. So first of all, we must know what is climate change. As I have told you earlier, because in the past hundred of years, because of this increase in the greenhouse gases, the temperature of Earth has increased by around 1.8 degrees Celsius. If you will see barely this 1.8 degrees Celsius, will not look even you can say more. But if you will see the mean temperature of Earth, it is around 15 degrees Celsius. Even now 0.1 degree Celsius increase in this temperature, it causes a lot of negative impact on this glacier melting, the oceans, the rainfall, the agriculture. So even this very, very small rise in temperature causes a lot of harm to our Mother Earth. So mainly, if you'll see this impact on agriculture or aquaculture, the major cause of climate change is the fossil fuel burning. We all know that this fossil fuel is the uh, non-renewable source of energy, and because of this industrial revolution, uh, the last hundred of years, due to the massive fossil fuel burning, this led to the high increase in the greenhouse gases. Next one is deforestation. We all know that today the world population is around 8 billion. So to feed these 8 billion people and to do agriculture, we have done uh, the deforestation on a very, very large scale. And this deforestation had also led to this increase in the concentration of greenhouse gases like CO2, methane, and all. Intensive agriculture. So intensive agriculture has also led to the release of methane and other methane and carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, and this greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect basically is that when the solar radiation comes to Earth and it does not go back, so around 40% of radiation that comes from Earth, it gets trapped in this ozone layer, and this is uh, uh, causing the greenhouse effect. So as we all know, this because of having ozone layer, this temperature on Earth is nearly suitable for the living organisms like us, human and other plant and animals. So if the temperature of the Earth will increase, it will lead to the very much negative impact on the Earth. And next one is the industrial emission, the gases that come out from the industries and other worries. So how it's going to affect on our planet? So this is causing the rise in the temperature. In the last hundred of years, around 1.5 to 2 degrees Celsius mean temperature of Earth has been increased. So this increase in this temperature had led to the melting of glaciers, ice sheet in the north and south poles. Because we all know that on the in the north and south pole we are having the glaciers. So when this temperature rises, these glaciers used to melt. We will go on each and every topic, its repercussion on negative impact in the further slides. In this slide, I'm just going to just say you the major effect on this of the climate change, like sea level rise. Because of this temperature rise, as we all read in this physics, that when the temperature rises, the molecules get apart. So when the temperature of Earth has rise, it had led to the increase in the volume of sea. And apart from that, the melting of glaciers has also added in the rise of sea level. And because of this global warming, it had led to the extreme weather event like huge cyclone, hurricanes, uh, irregular precipitation, rainfalls, and all. And because of this, it has caused to the loss of biodiversity. Lots of species have been extinct, and some of them are going to be endangered. Uh, so we need to think upon this loss of biodiversity due to the climate changes, the global effect. So, since I'm from aquaculture, I would like to take your points related to the aquatic bodies like rivers, ocean, and other aquatic bodies. So, because of this rise in temperature, it has led to the ocean acidification. I will let you know in the details about the ocean acidification in the further slides. And it has also led to the droughts, water and food scarcity, human health issues because of this outbound of large amount of pathogens. So what we need to do, we need to have the solution like renewable energy, energy efficient sorts of. We need to use. We need to plant trees like afforestation or reforestation, sustainable transport, reduce and reduce, reuse and recycle of the product that we are using. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yes. So why we are so much worried about this climate change impact on the fisheries and aquaculture? So we must know that how this fisheries and aquaculture is playing their role in our life. So first of all, this fisheries and aquaculture, they provide a diverse food resources. They provide a very rich and you can say cheap source of protein. If you will compare about the source of protein, the fish is the cheapest and most suitable healthy source of protein in our diet as compared to the chicken, mutton, eggs, and other things. So this aquaculture and fishery is going to provide us the very cheap source of protein to the billions of people. And one more thing I would like to tell, because we all know that our earth is covered 25% nearly by the land and 75% is covered by water. And because of this burgeoning, the very high increasing in the population, we have to feed to all the people. So whatever resources we are having on land, we have almost reached to its threshold. So now it's the time to that we have to and we need to and we will somehow we will have to look after these aquatic sources to get our food, because on land we have reached to nearly our threshold and we cannot go much higher in this land areas or agriculture. So this in the future, as future time, this aquaculture and fisheries is going to play a very crucial role in the nutrition and the food for the people. Next one is the support the livelihood of millions of farmers. As we all know that about 15 to 20% people across the globe is somehow related to these fisheries and aquaculture. In India, only around 25 to 30 crores of people, they are directly or indirectly linked with this fisheries and aquaculture. Apart from that, this fisheries and aquaculture contribute a lot to our national economics and export. If you'll see in the Indian perspective, this aquaculture and fisheries, uh, it's contribute to about 1% of our GDP, and about 7.5% to agriculture GDP. If we will look in the monetary terms, it is around 1.5 lakhs crore. This is the contribution of fisheries to our national GDP. And so far as export is concerned, India is exporting around 65,000 crore rupees, nearly equivalent to 7.5 to 8 billion US dollars. So this is contributing a lot to our export. And apart from that, it is the fish are having very good source of protein, and they are providing us the nutritional security to our 1.5 billion people in India. Next slide. So as you can see here, this how this climate change is going to affect, or you can say simply it is affecting these fisheries and aquaculture. So in earlier slide, we have seen that this climate change majorly, if you will see, there are the major two or three perspectives, like the rise in the sea water, this because of this global warming, the acidification of ocean, that is the acidity or pH value is going down in the ocean or sea water, and it is also impacting the human dimension, like economic aspect, uh, this physical and water quality changes, and other things. Next slide. So the major climate change factors affecting the aquatic ecosystem. So as the first one is the rising temperature. Because of this global warming, the temperature of Earth has increased. So I would like to know that because of this CO2 and methane, what happens when the sunlight comes to the Earth's surface, it gets trapped and it does not go back. So gradually this temperature of Earth is rising. So when we look in this aquatic ecosystem, you will be surprised to know that around 85% of this CO2 or methane, it gets trapped by our ocean. And we have also read in the physics that the specific heat capacity of water is high. So that means this water gradually get heated and it slow down uh, in a longer duration. So because of this ocean and all, because 75% of Earth's surface is covered by water, so this ocean, sea, rivers and all, they are playing a very crucial role to maintain the water temperature. But in spite of all these things, due to the high increase in the greenhouse gases, uh, ocean have reached to their threshold, and and so because of this, this temperature of Earth has increased by 1.5 degrees Celsius. So this rise in temperature has so much effect on the ocean. So first of all, if the water temperature will rise, what will happen? Because of this rise in temperature, the water molecules will get apart. The volume of water will uh, be more, and it will lead to the melting of glacier. So because of this effect, what will happen? The volume of water in the sea will be more. So when the water volume in the sea will be more, it will have a very negative impact on the coastal areas or near the ocean area, like the interface area where the land and water meet. So there will be very heavy tides, current, and because of this heavy tides and current, the people living near the shore or beaches will be affected a lot. So second one is the ocean acidification. So what does it mean, ocean acidification? It means that the pH value of ocean water is going down. The pH value is going down. That means it is going to be more acidic. So why it is happening? As we all know that the level of CO2 as the greenhouse gases is increasing. So what happens when the CO2 from the atmosphere get reacted with the water, that is CO2 plus H2O. What it will form? It will form H2CO3. CO2 plus H2O will make H2CO3, that is the carbonic acid. So carbonic acid is basically a weak acid. So when it is formed, the carbonic acid, it is obvious that the pH level of water will down. So when the pH, and we know that the average pH of ocean water is around 8.2. So even a 0.1 level down in the pH of seawater, it means a lot. So when this pH of water will go down, what it will affect? It will cause the acidity of water. And because of the acidity of water, the organism like fishes, oyster, mussel, pearl, coral reef, they all get affected by this lowering of pH or increase in the acidity of water. So what is it causes? It causes the leaching of their cells. We all know that pearls, mussels, oyster, coral reef, they all are made from this calcium carbonate, you can calcium cells. So when the pH will go down, it will leach, it will break, or it will just weakens the uh, cells of the pearls. So what it will affect? It will lead to the degradation of coral, pearl, oyster, mussels, and all. And due to this lowering of pH, what happens? The fecundity or breeding of fish get affected, because this for the proper spawning, proper breeding of fishes, the water need to be slightly alkaline. So when this pH of water will go down, it is having a very much negative impact on this, can say, the fishes and all. So when third one is sea level rise. Because of this rising temperature, the level of water in the sea has rise. So what happens when the water temperature rises? So suppose a fish is, you can say, like a particular temperature. When the water temperature will rise, so what they will do? They will migrate to the polar areas. That is, we all know that in the South Pole or North Pole, there are lots of glacier, and the temperature is relatively, you can say, low as compared to the water near the equator. So when the water temperature will rise, the fishes will migrate towards this North Pole or South Pole to get the colder temperature. Or if they cannot migrate, what they will do? They will try to deep inside. So when the fish will go deeper inside the water to get the ambient low temperature, it is causing them to spend additional energy to go down or to go up. So because of the rising temperature and rising sea level rise, it is affecting the uh, aquaculture also. We all know that near the beaches we used to farm shrimps, prawn, and all, and the some of the small scale or marginal farmers, they used to live by the beaches. So when the sea level will rise, it will lead to the higher ocean current tides, and these higher tides and currents will uh, what they will do? They will break the infrastructure, house, boats, lake that are present near the beaches. Next one is the change in the rainfall patterns. We all know that the rainfall is about, you can say, mostly dependent upon the ocean current tides. We all see in the news that due to this air pressure gradient, uh, the monsoon comes from the ocean. So when this temperature will rise, it will hamper the proper precipitation and rainfall patterns, and increase in the frequency of extreme events. So when the temperature of water will increase, it will lead to the formation of very high tides, current, cyclone, heavy storms. So this climate change is going to make the high storm, hurricane, cyclone-like effect, even sometimes tsunami. And because of this high temperature, the dissolved oxygen in the water goes low. We have read in the chemistry that when the water temperature will rise, its kinetic energy will rise, and the solubility of gases lowers. It's a basic fact. When temperature will rise, the solubility of gas will be lower, because gases will try to escape out from the water. So because of this rise in temperature, the dissolved oxygen in the water, that is scientifically called hypoxia, that is the lowering of oxygen. So because of this lowering of oxygen in the rivers and sea, fishes did not get the proper amount of oxygen. So what they will do, they will come toward the surface and they will try to gulp the air. So, and when the level of oxygen will go down, their metabolism will also go down. The fishes will go in stress, and ultimately, when the level of oxygen will be much lower, they may die. So, this because of this low oxygen that is caused by the high temperature, the fishes may get died. Next slide. Climate change impact on fishes and aquaculture. So what does the effect? Adapt said you, because of the rise in temperature, fishes used to migrate. Either they will go towards uh, South Pole or North Pole, or they will dive deep in the water. So because of this climate change, migration shift is there. And we have we also know that some fishes used to migrate from sea water to fresh water for breeding and spawning, and some used to go from fresh water to sea water for breeding and spawning. So when this level of water will rise, the temperature will rise, the migration of a shift occurs very negatively in the fishes. Next one is the habitat loss. So for example, if you will see toward the coral reefs. So when this water temperature will rise, it will lead to ocean acidification, lowering of pH of water. That leads to the loss of habitat for the most of the fishes, reduce in the productivity. So if you will see in the ocean or sea, each and every plankton or the family of plankton, they are very much particular to a particular temperature and particular pH of water. Even a very slight increase like 0.1 degree Celsius or zero point 0.1 unit change in the pH, there is a massive shift in the phytoplankton, algal production, or other aquatic organisms. So when this temperature fluctuates, the pH of water fluctuates, it causes a reduction in the productivity of seawater. So when there will be low plankton, low algae, ultimately it will lead to the lowering in the production of fishes. So this climate change is causing the loss in the productivity of seawater. Apart from this, it is also hampering the food chain or food web, because each and everything is a cyclic event or co-linked. So when there will be low phytoplankton, low algae, there will be less amount of smaller fishes. So when there will be less amount of smaller fishes, the bigger fishes will not get a proper amount of nutrition or food. So they may get die or they may also get extinct. So it's a very you can say a proper you can say linkage between the predator and prey. When there is a no predator, the prey will be flourished. When there is too much predator, they will not get proper food as a prey. So these all things are co-linked. Even a small shift in all these water quality parameters, it causes a various impact on all this level of food chain and food webs. So what it is having the impact on the aquaculture. Aquaculture is basically the farming of aquatic organisms. So by the now I have told you about the capture fisheries, like capturing of fishes in ocean and rivers. Now I will tell you what it is. This climate change is going to have an impact on this aquaculture. So, like when the temperature is stressed. So when you are going to a farm, you can culture a fishes. The temperature stress causes a major role in the mortality of fishes. So when there will be rise in temperature, there will be the outbreak of so many types of pathogens. So these pathogens are very much specific to a particular pH, temperature, and water quality parameter. So even a small change in the water quality parameter, there is a very can say high chances of the disease outbreak. Acidification effect, I've told you earlier, even in the case of rivers or fresh water, these acidification effects also hamper the freshwater pearl, freshwater oysters, and other aquatic organisms, and infrastructure damage. So when there will be the climate change, it will lead to the unregular or unpredicted rainfall. So when we will not predict the amount of rainfall, suppose we are expecting a rainfall in a particular month or particular duration of time. If we will not get rainfall in that time, our agriculture, our fisheries, each and everything will be affected, because even in fishes, their breeding is so much dependent upon the rainfall. Mostly fishes that are prominent, like in the katla, rohu, mrigal, and other fishes, they are very much stick to the rainfall, because in the monsoon time they only get to breed. So when they will not get a proper precipitation, proper amount of rainfall, they will not breed. So when they will not breed properly, there will be loss in the stock of this all these fishes. And when there will be very heavy rainfall because of this climate change, it will ultimately hamper the infrastructure. It will may lead to drought, flood, uh, uh, other losses like damage of house or boats, gears, and in all these things because of this heavy rainfall or lack of rainfall. Next slide. Impact on fisheries. I've told you earlier slide, because of this climate change, there is a shift in the fish distribution and migration. So when there will be the rise in temperature, rise in the pH, alteration of water quality, fish is bound to either migrate or their distribution get hampered. So when their distribution or migration get hampered, it also lead to the decrease in the production of capture of fishes. Suppose when the fishes will migrate from a particular area, the fisherman will not get the proper amount of fishes in one catch. So for getting a particular amount of fishes, they will have to be in a longer duration in the sea. They will have to wait for a much duration of time to catch a particular fishes. So this is also hampering the you can say the fossil fuel, the petrol, diesel, because to get a particular amount of fishes, the fisherman will get to spend more amount of diesel. They will have to wait for more longer duration in the sea and ocean. Decline in fish stock, because of this. I have told you, because of this shift in the plankton, algal production, there is decline in the fishes, changes in the breeding and spawning. It's very clear that each and every species of fishes or other or any aquatic organism, they are very much bound and they are very much specific to a particular temperature, particular pH, particular you can say water quality parameter, particular level of oxygen. So when even a small changes in this water quality, their breeding and spawning get hampered. And since the temperature of water will increase, it will lead to the increase in the uh, uh, types of pathogens, or they may get the disease outbreak because of this. So inland fisheries, because if the precipitation rainfall will be irregular, it may lead to the water unavailability or excess causing the flood. The habitat will be degraded. It will cause to the destruction of uh, coastal areas or riverine areas, and alteration of river flow and ecosystem. Next slide. Impacts on the aquaculture. These all points I have covered, like because of this temperature rise, global warming, it is called also causing the heat strokes to the fishes, because when the temperature will be higher, we have also can say witnessed that in the last 30-40 years, we are getting more scorchy or more heating summers as compared to earlier 50 years back. So we have also witnessed. Uh, so this thing is also happening with the aquatic bodies. When the water will get more warmer, it will get it more heated. It will lead to the stress of fishes. It will lead to the depreciation in the oxygen level. It will lead to the decrease in the pH level. And also, because of this high temperature, the metabolism of fishes increases. So when the fish's metabolism will be higher, uh, uh, it will also cause the lesser growth and less food, we can say, intake. And all these points I have addressed earlier, like disease outbreak, water quality deterioration. Because when the water temperature fluctuates, it also causes the uh, bloom of harmful algae, like cyanobacteria. When this cyanobacteria blooms, it is having a very toxic nature. When the fishes used to feed on this, they may die. So when the water temperature rises, it leads to the algal bloom. What does algal bloom means? Algal bloom means simply the uh, overproduction of algae. So when the temperature of water will rise, the metabolism of algae will also rise. So there will be a irregular, uncontrolled, heavy production of algae. So, and because of this heavy algal bloom, what it will do, suppose when the temperature of water is higher, the algal bloom will occur. That means more amount of algae will be produced during the daytime. So what it will do. So when the more algae will be there in the daytime, in the nighttime, what they will do? They will take maximum amount of oxygen from the water, and the fishes under the water, they will face the deterioration of or the lack of oxygen. So this algae bloom causes the death of fishes because of the lack of the dissolved oxygen in the aquatic bodies. Next one, next slide. I think I have covered this. Next one. Next one. Uh, see, till now we have seen the scientific aspect or the physical aspects of this climate change. And in this slide, we will see the social impact of climate change on the local, marginal, small scale fisherman or aquaculture, uh, aquaculturist, you can say. So, uh, when because of this climate change, the production of fishes goes low. So the small fishermen used to get affected a lot. Why? Suppose because of this climate change, fishes used to migrate. Why? They will go either deeper or they will go much inside the sea. So so the small most of the aquarium get die in warm water. Then why this? I will. I will let you know the answer in the last. Uh, so what happened when the fishes used to migrate deeper inside the sea, or you can say uh, far away from the source? See, the smaller farmers, those who are not having a good quality boat, mechanized boat, you can say, so they will not get the proper catch of fishes in the river or sea. Suppose a rich fisherman, they will have a very good boat, a very powerful engine boat. So they may get deeper, they may get uh, far away from the beaches or shore to to get the fishes. But the small farmer, they will have to face the problem because they will not get the proper catch of fishes because fishes have migrated deeper inside the sea. Again, suppose the because of this level, because of this high rise of sea water, what it will affect? It will cause the loss of infrastructure near the coastal or beach areas. So mostly the small fishermen or farmers used to live near the beaches or coastal areas. So they used to get affected a lot. So when and suppose due to this high current or tides, their boat, their gears to catch the fishes get destroyed or get broken. So they will have to face the much bad consequences of climate change. Apart from this increased production cost, Suppose because of this migration and low productivity, a fisherman will have to expend more money to catch a particular unit of fishes. So ultimately, the cost of production will be higher. So the selling price will be higher. So it will lead to the increase in inflation of fish because less amount of fish is getting caught. So the price of fishes will be higher. Next is the threat to food security. Ultimately, when there is lesser food, it will lead to the can say the threat to food security because each and everyone will not get the food because we are getting less catch of fishes. So when this fisherman will not get a proper income, proper catch, they will have to migrate. They will have to shift to some other types of job because somehow they will have to fulfill the demands of their family. So when they are not getting proper income from the fisheries, they will have to migrate. They will have to choose some other jobs. And suppose the people, those who are solely dependent upon fisheries, they will get affected. They will get vulnerable a lot because of this climate change. Next slide. So what we can do, because uh, two things that we need to do. First is the mitigation. Mitigation is that suppose whatever we have done wrong, we need to slightly we have to make it right. And second thing, by the time the thing will get right, we will have to adapt according to the present scenario. So adaptation is that so whatever things we have done wrong, and now according to the present scenario, we have to shift our lifestyle, we have to shift our histories and each and everything according to the present situation. So what we can do the climate resilient aquaculture species. That means, suppose when we are getting less amount of fish in the rivers and ocean, we have to culture the fish in a confined area. We have to culture the fish in ponds or some modern culturing practice in which we need less amount of water, where we can have high amount of fishes in respective in relative to a small amount of water. That means we need to go for high tech fish farming where in the less amount of water we can culture more amount of fishes. So we have to culture those species which are very strong, less prone to disease, uh, which will have a very higher growth rate. Next one is the improved water management. Because of this climate change, uh, the rainfall or precipitation is not regular. So we have to think, we have to go for the improved water management, improved technique of fish farming like biofloc, aquaponics, RAS. In this modern types of fish farming, uh, we or at least we go around 50 to 60% less water as compared to the farming of fishes in the ponds. Suppose in pond, in every 200 liter of water, we get 1 kg of fish. So when we will go for a high-tech farming like biofloc, aquaponics, RAS, we get around 40 to 50 liter of water for getting 1 kg of fishes. We need to diversify the cultured species. So according to the present scenario, we have to we have to diversify the culture species so that we can get ample amount of fishes from this small amount of water. Also, apart from this, we need to have the early warning system. Suppose for to getting drought, cyclone, storm. If we will have the early warning system, we can reduce the damage by this storm, heavy rainfall, and all these things. We have to go for sustainable fisheries management. Suppose one thing is that suppose I'm a fisherman, I'm having a boat, and I'm going in the sea to catch fish. Because of this migration, I'm not getting a proper amount of fish. Then what I will do? I will decrease the mesh size of our net, and I will think that since I have expended so much money on this salary, diesel, petrol, and boat maintenance, I will catch whatever I will get. So this is not the good practice. Suppose I will catch the very small amount of juvenile fishes. So what this will do? This will hamper the fish stock. Suppose if you will kill the juvenile small fishes in the weight wise and in the you can say volume wise, it will be much lower. So if you will kill the small fishes, it will not get the proper time to get bigger. So it is not recommended to catch the small size of fishes, because if you will kill the small size of fishes, it will hamper the fish stock or the fishes inside the sea. So it is very necessary to do the sustainable fisheries. We have to select the selective gear. Suppose I have to get a 1 kg of fish, then I have to select a particular net that will only get the fishes nearly around 1 kg. It will not catch the fish of about 50 gram or 100 gram. So we have to choose the species specific gear, size specific gear, in which we can get a particular types of fish, a particular weight of fish. And apart from this, we also have to think about the nature. Suppose I'm going to catch the fish, so I have to focus on catching the fish only, and I should not destroy the bottom of sea, or I should not catch the other vulnerable or ecologically important species. So we have to go for the ecosystem based approach. We have to keep the we can say nursery ground, breeding ground uh, in a very proper way, and we should not negatively affect the ecology of river and sea. Next slide. And since mitigation is there, so in last slide we have read about the adaptation. So what we have to do in the present scenario, and now we will see the mitigation means whatever things we have done wrong, we have to slowly we have to make it right. Because in one way, if you are not going to control the cause of problem, you cannot solve it. So in this mitigation strategy, because we all know, because we all know that the present climate change have occurred due to this greenhouse gas emission. So what we have to do? We have to reduce the greenhouse gas emission like CO2, methane, and all. So what we can do? We have to go for such technologies which causes the less emission of greenhouse gases. So we have to go for solar energy. We have to go for EV. So by this renewable source of energy, we can reduce the greenhouse gas emission. Second thing is the promote the energy efficient fishing vessels. So we have to go for other sorts of fuel like LNG, solar based vessels, high effective gear, so that in a small time we can get the proper amount of fish catch from the sea. Sustainable feed management, we have to go for such fishes which are having a low FCR. Low FCR means by that means fish get that low FCR means by consuming less amount of fishes, the amount of meat will be higher in a particular fish. So we have to go for such fishes culture, aquaculture, in which we have to give less feed to get more amount of fish flesh, or you can say more amount of fishes. So we have to go for the better feed management. See, if you will compare with the fisheries with other livestock farming, suppose I'm having a cow or goat. So in when you are doing animal husbandry like cow, buffalo, or goat, we can see that how much amount of feed this animal has taken. Suppose a cow or buffalo is not taking the feed, from next day onward we can reduce the feed given to them. But in fisheries, it's not like that. We have to think from the perspective of fish, that whether the fish have taken the feed, whether if you will give the extra feed to fish, what it will happen? The fish will not take the all the amount of feed given to them. So the extra feed will ultimately go in the water, and it will reduce the quality. It will cause the toxicity of water, and the water quality will get down. So we have to calculate the feed very accurately so that whatever feed we are going to fish, it will take. Next thing is the restoration of mangrove and wetlands. Suppose when the high tides come, or when the level of water rises, the mangroves and wetland near the beaches, they used to control the water velocity. They used to sink the extra carbon, and because if you will compare to the land, the trees on land and the mangroves or wetland species, they used to absorb more carbon from the atmosphere as compared to the trees on land. So it is mandatory and very much necessary to conserve the mangrove, conserve the wetlands. And next thing is the adaptation of renewable energy in the aquaculture. Suppose for doing aeration of water in the fish pond, we can go for renewable solar aerator. We can also go for sensor-based technology. Suppose we are going to do very intensive aquaculture. That means intensive aquaculture means a very high amount of fish we will culture in a very confined or low amount of water. So it is very risky thing. So what we need to do, we need to go for sensor-based technology. That means from every 10 minutes, if we will get the proper pH of water, proper temperature of water by using sensors, we can accurately predict that whether fish are going to be in stress, whether the fish is getting the feed or not, is there any disease outbreak, is there anything wrong going inside the pond. So by using this technology, we can reduce the fish mortality, or we can also get the high amount of fish in low time, in less amount of water. In fishing in the sea, a new technology have came, that is the GIS locate that fishes are in a particular latitude or longitude. So we can directly go by the ship to a particular location, and we can catch the fish. By doing this thing, we can reduce the effort. In less time, we can get the proper amount of fishes. Next slide. Uh, First, I have told you. Next thing is the technology on the climate resilience, uh, like can say the high-tech fish farming. Apart from this, we all will also need to aware the fisherman uh, to choose the particular gear, a particular boat to catch the fish. Uh, Something is that one is that we might be knowing the ghost fishing. It is that suppose we are going to sea with lots of nets, and the net get torn or it get lost inside the sea. What it will happen? By the time it get decomposed, it will kill thousands of fishes, and that fish we cannot get because the net is lost inside the river, or it is lost inside the sea. So we need to also work upon the types of fabric. By the time we are using nylon rope, it gets 100 of years to get decomposed. So we also need to work upon the decomposable types of nets. Those can be decomposed in a short duration of time. We can reduce the ghost fishing. And apart from this government should also help the poor farmers, because ultimately the poor farmers get affected a lot with this climate change. If you have money, you can go to some other types of job. But for a poor, marginal, small farmer, they don't have lots of option apart from fishing. Uh, they are being taught by their parents, their grandparents about fishing. So when they are going to affect it a lot, so the government is need to ensure, they need to give training, they need to give subsidies, and they also have to take initiative for the poor farmers, because ultimately poor farmers faces a lot of problem because of the climate change. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yes, I've covered, I think, all these things. Next. Thank you. So if you have any question, you can ask. In a summary, I would like to make a summary in 1 minute. Because see, what happens because of this global warming, due to this high amount of use of this fossil fuel, industrial revolution, this the temperature of Earth have increased, and even a small increase in the temperature is causing a lot of issues like uh, rise in the ocean water, acidification of ocean, irregular rainfall. With the irregular rainfall, have a proper food security, there is no meaning of this development. We have to go for sustainable development. We are uh, making new researches and the new technology by hampering our Mother Earth. So, if because of these things, the average life expectancy of people is decreasing. So there is no benefit of doing such development when we are not getting proper food, proper air, and proper, you can say, uh, we are getting we are doing lots of pollution. So ultimately we have to look on this climate change, that what we can do. uh, Personally, we can reduce the energy emission, we can reduce the use of fossil fuel, we can conserve, can say, energy. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I request the participants if there are any other doubts, they can ask, sir. Participants can unmute themselves.
pH, what is recommended pH range for water resources and how do I safely balance it? See, the for fishes and all, the average recommended range of water is slightly alkaline, around 7.8, 7.5 to 8 is the perfect pH for water. Because we also need this range of water, because our blood pH is around 7.2. So if you will see in your water purifier like Kent and Arrow, we get the alkaline water, because this alkaline water is very much helpful for us, for each, I think, each and every organism. So if viral disease occurs in a fish, it will affect the major fish population, causing major damage. Then what are the most important measures to be taken immediately? See, the for the viral disease, it is very difficult to control in the fishes, because in fishes, what happens? Uh, See, why we are doing fish farming? We are doing fish farming to earn money, and this viral disease spread very fastly. So even if you apply the medicines, fish, most amount of fish will not get recovered. And if you will use a lot of money to cure the fish, your profit margin will be lower. So there's a very big dilemma that we have to cure the fish without getting lost. So if you will compare the cost of production, whatever money you will get after selling the fish, and the amount of money you need to spend to cure the fish, it will be very difficult. So the basic thing is that prevention is better than cure, because if you will do the proper measurement practices, measures to reduce the pathogen level, this viral outbreak will be lower. So there is lots of the standard operation procedure for aquaculture farm or for doing any fish farming in the pond. So basic standard procedure or prevention is the basic key to get uh, can say to prevent the viral disease outbreak. Which aquatic fish or breed will be more affected by climate change? So see, for the climate, because of climate change, almost each and every fishes will get affected, but the most affected will be the fish that used to migrate. Suppose a fish from the sea, some like salmon or some hilsa, they used to migrate to fresh water to marine, and some fishes migrate from marine to fresh water to get to go for breeding and spawning. And so far is that sea fish is an aquatic organism, and even 0.1 degrees Celsius increase in the water, their metabolism rate increased by 10-fold, 10 times. So I think each and every fish they will be affected by even a small change in the pH or small change in the water temperature. How can we integrate fish farming in integrated fish farming? See, integrate fish farming, that you can integrate your fish farming with animal husbandry, cattle farming, goat farming, because of this thing. Suppose in the present scenario, because of this climate change, you may not get the proper fish production for a small farmer. So you need to diversify uh, your profession. Suppose if you'll integrate your fish farming with animal husbandry, agriculture, horticulture, your investment will be lower and your profit will be higher. You can also use the waste product from the animal husbandry inside the fishes, and your fish culture will have the additional income. Sir, what is the impact of climate change on CO2 sequestration? See, the impact of climate change on CO2 sequestration is that because of this climate change, what happens? The temperature of Earth is rising because of the increase in the level of CO2. See, if we will compare with the suppose trees also sequester the carbon. What they used to do, they used to get the CO2 and they used to trap inside their roots, and ultimately it will go down inside the soil. So they are, and this sequestration is also having a limit, because uh, if you go with data wise, around 80% of CO2 produced by humans is get trapped by the oceans. And as compared to the land, ocean and aquatic bodies sequester more amount of carbon uh, in the more rapidly as compared to the trees on the land. What is intensive farming? Intensive farming is farming of any species or anything in a very high density or very high amount. Suppose I have to do intensive farming of fish. That means in a very small time, in very small area, we are going to farm or we are going to culture a lot of species. So intensive farming, if you go for intensive farming, we need to recognize or monitor or you can regulate very wisely, because in intensive farming even a small mistake will lead to the failure of all these things. Suppose I am going to for intensive farming of fish, means a very large amount of fish in a very small amount of water. So what it will happen? Suppose I will give you an example. In a pond of 1 acre, we used to mostly go for 5,000 to 6,000 of fishes in 1 acre of pond. And if you will go for intensive farming, it goes up to 20,000 to 30,000 of fishes in this particular in 1 acre. So what it will do? If you will go for high density of fishes, we need to give high amount of fish to them. To the high amount of fish, what will done? We in the data wise will see if we give 1 kg of feed to fishes, around 650 gram is getting waste. That means 350 gram of feed is only utilized by the fish to increasing their flesh. 650 gram of feed either get wasted, either the fish will not take, or it will come out as a fecal matter from the fish. What it will do? It will be inside the water, in the bottom of water, and this unutilized feed, the fecal matter, it will lead to the formation of ammonia or poison inside the water, and fish will die. So if you are going to intensive farming, if you will go for large amount of fish in a small area, you also need to check the amount of oxygen dissolved inside the water. You need to you need to remove the toxin. You need to remove the poison or ammonia produced by fish, because if you not remove it, the fishes will die. So intensive farming is good. You can earn a lot of money in a small time, in a small water use, but you need to actively or scientifically manage the water quality. If you will manage the water quality, fish will not get any problem. Fish are not having competition with each other. Fish only want good food, good water quality. If you can manage good food and good water quality in intensive fish farming, you will get a very good profit. Next is, as there is water scarcity in doing aquaculture profitable, if we do the technical aquaculture, does the nutritional quality get affected? No. See, water scarcity is there. So this is because of this only people are going for scientific or uh, advanced high-tech farming. If, for example, if you might be knowing a technology called bioflog. Bioflog is that uh, we used to remove the ammonia, or you can say the toxic produced by the fish by using bacteria. So if you'll compare the bioflux technology or aquaponics technology with pond, they use only 10% of water what we use in the pond, because if a 1 acre pond is having 1 meter depth, at one time it will having 40 lakhs of liter. 1 acre means around 4,000 square meter into 1 meter. That is the 4,000 cubic meter into 1,000 means the 40 lakh liter is present in a 1 acre of pond at one time. And in fish farming, you need to uh, in fish farming, because of the evaporation loss and water quality degradation, regularly you need to refill the water. And if you will go for aquaponics, that means by using the plant, we used to remove the waste produced by the fishes, or by using the bioflux, that means by using bacteria, we can remove the toxin produced by fish. So by using this high-tech technology for fish farming, you can reduce the water use. And in this thing, the quality of fish or its nutrition quality does not get affected. In fact, it also get improved, because a fish that is living inside a good bacterial system, it will have a good immunity, and ultimately it will increase the nutritional quality of fish. Next.
हेलो नमस्ते सर।
नमस्ते।
सर मैं राहुल पालवे महाराष्ट्र से बात कर रहा हूँ।
हाँ
पिछली
सर।
8 से 9 साल तक 9 साल से मैं एग्रीकल्चर क्रॉप इंश्योरेंस में काम करता हूँ। तो
अच्छा।
पिछले एक दो साल में अभी हाई टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत बढ़ गई है। अपनी एआई टेक्नोलॉजी, रिमोट सेंसिंग का बहुत अच्छा फायदा हो रहा है क्रॉप इंश्योरेंस सेक्टर में। तो मेरा एक सवाल था, मतलब आपको क्या लगता है कि एआई और रिमोट सेंसिंग तकनीकें जलवायु परिवर्तन से प्रभावित मत्स्य क्षेत्र के प्रबंधन में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभा सकती है फ्यूचर में?
बिल्कुल निभा सकती है। जैसे कि मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल दूंगा कि आज से 7 या 8 साल पहले झींगा पालन का गुजरात में, तो वहां पे क्या होता था ना कि आप सरकार बोलती है कि नॉर्मली आपको 1 स्क्वायर मीटर में 60 झींगे आप पाल सकते हो, लेकिन जो किसान थे, जो थोड़े पढ़े लिखे किसान थे या थोड़े अमीर किसान थे, वो 1 स्क्वायर मीटर में 60 की बजाय 250 झींगे पालते थे, यानी कि 4 गुना वो अधिक झींगे पाल रहे हैं। और झींगा वगैरह क्या है ना कि बहुत हाईली प्रॉफिटेबल है, मतलब 700-800 रुपए किलो आराम से आपको बिक जाता है, लेकिन उसमें रिस्क भी है। फिश अगर मरता है तो अपना थोड़ा बहुत आपको प्राइस दे के जाएगा मरने के बाद, लेकिन अगर झींगा मर जाएगा तो फिर आपको उतना प्राइस नहीं देगा, आपको हेवी लॉस होगा। तो वहां वो क्या करते थे कि वो सेंसर बेस्ड टेक्नोलॉजी यूज कर रहे थे, यानी कि पानी हर वो 10 मिनट पे वो सेंसर जो है आपके पानी का ऑक्सीजन, पानी का पीएच, पानी का टेम्परेचर और भी जो एल्कलिनिटी के पैरामीटर्स वगैरह है, या उसमें अमोनिया कितना है, और अंडर वाटर कैमरा यूज करते थे जिससे वो झींगे को देख पाए। झींगा तो बॉटम में रहेगा आपका, तो वो टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज करके मतलब बहुत अच्छे तरीके से 4 से 5 गुना वो अधिक प्रॉफिट ले पा रहे थे। और अभी भी है कि आप सेंसर बेस्ड करके, आप सपोज कीजिए कि आपका फार्म है और आपको पूरा पता है, तो आप रिमोट सेंसिंग के थ्रू अपने मोबाइल से आप कहीं भी रहे, फार्म पे रहे, घर पे रहे, कहीं बाहर भी रहे, तो हर समय जो आपको डेटा मिलता रहता है ना कि पानी का ये डेटा है, तो उसको मतलब देखना आसान रहता है। डॉक्टर की तरह कि आपको जब पूरा पैरामीटर पता है कि मेरे पानी में ये सब चीजें हो रही हैं और सब कुछ बिल्कुल लिमिट में है, तो इससे आप डिजीज को रोक सकते हैं। अगर कोई आपको अंडर वाटर कैमरा है या वाटर क्वालिटी थोड़ा भी खराब हुआ, तो आपके पास टाइम रहता है उसको ठीक करने का। तो अभी के समय में आप टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज करके बहुत सही कर सकते हो।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir. Thank you for handling all the questions so patiently. Thank you, sir, for delivering such an informative and engaging session. Your valuable insights and practical experiences have greatly enhanced our understanding of the subject. We sincerely appreciate the knowledge and guidance you have shared with us today. I would also like to thank all the participants for their active presence and participants, as well as the organizing team of EcoFast Agri Solutions for their continuous efforts. Thank you everyone for joining us. Have a wonderful evening ahead. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much. Thank you all of you.